Greeting students and welcome back to the English class. Now we will continue with the summary and the question and answers of the chapter or poem The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. Now in the poem तो अब क्या करते, let us start. It says that in the poem the poet asked the soft falling rain. Soft falling rain किसको बोला गया? Soft falling shower किसको बोल गया है? Rain को. Who are you? तो पोएट और पोएम के बीच में कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रही है. तो पोएट बोलता है तुम कौन हो? To which she replies that she's the poem of the earth. तो वो क्या बोलती है? I am the poem of the earth. It is a strange thing for the rain to reply in the poet. तो वो बोलते ये तो बहुत strange thing है कि एक पोएट एक पोम रिप्लाई कर रही है, क्योंकि रेन इज नॉट लिविंग थिंग, तो वो रिप्लाई कैसे कर सकती है? द रेन टोल्ड द पोएट दैट शी कैन नॉट बी टच्ड. अब जो रेन है, रेन क्या बोल रही है? पोएट को बोल रही है दैट शी कैन नॉट बी टच्ड. इनटैंजिबल है. क्या है वो? इनटैंजिबल. Right? She cannot be touched means intangible. As she rises in the form of water vapor in the sky from the land and bottomless sea. यहाँ पर बॉटमलेस सी को हाइपरबोल एज ए लिटरेरी डिवाइस दिया जाएगा, क्योंकि बॉटमलेस सी का कहीं तो बॉटम होगा, बट यहाँ तो एग्जैजरेट कर रहे हैं. तो वो बोलता है कि जो देखो वाटर है, राइट, जो वाटर है चिल्ड्रन, इट विल राइज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वाटर वेपर, form the cloud and then it will rain again. It changes its shape yet it remains same. है ना? तो क्या है? यहाँ पर से तो वाटर, यहाँ पर से तो क्या है? वाटर वेपर है, ठीक है, नीचे से, और ऊपर जाके वो क्या बन जाते? क्लाउड्स बन जाते हैं, राइट. द वेपर चेंजेस इट्स क्लाउड ड्यू टू कंडेंसेशन. ठीक है, तो अब वो क्या करे? ड्यू टू कंडेंसेशन इट इज ड्यू टू द क्लाउड. ठीक है, नाउ इट फॉल्स बैक ऑन द सर्फेस ऑफ द अर्थ. नाउ इट विल फॉल बैक ऑन द सर्फेस ऑफ द अर्थ टू प्रोवाइड वाटर टू ड्रॉथ प्रोन एरिया. ड्रॉथ प्रोन एरिया सूखे वाले एरिया. एंड टू ब्यूटिफाई एंड प्योरीफाई द अर्थ. तो किसको ब्यूटिफाई करने के लिए? अर्थ को ब्यूटिफाई करने के लिए. इट प्रोवाइड्स लाइफ टू द सी, दैट मीन्स जर्मिनेशन इनसाइड द अर्थ एंड हेल्प्स देम टू ग्रो. तो इट विल हेल्प देम टू ग्रो, क्योंकि देखो उसने कई बार बोला कि दिस इज द लैंड, हियर आर द सीड्स, इफ वाटर इज फॉलिंग इट विल प्रोवाइड देम जर्मिनेशन. तो अ फ्लावर will there will be a flower so that it could beautify the earth. Okay, now next, the rain doesn't care if anyone bothers about her deeds. तो रेन बोलता है कि I do not care about my deeds. She complete her work and come back home. The poet compares the rain to a song. Now why to a song? Now देखो मैंने क्या बोला था? ये वाटर है, राइट. तो वाटर से वाटर वेपर सूरज आता है, राइट. तो ड्यू टू हीट वाटर वेपर राइजेस, becomes cloud, that is condensation. Again due to precipitation water falls. So this is a cycle, continuous cycle that is going on. Now imagine a what do you call it? Imagine a let us talk about imagine. Now imagine there is a poet, song. ठीक है, तो वो सिंगर क्या करेगा? सॉन्ग करेगा, सिंग करेगा, पब्लिश करेगा, लोग उसकी सॉन्ग को बहुत अच्छा बोलेंगे, राइट. एंड उसके बाद वो लोग फेमस हो गया, लोग उसे प्यार देंगे. कैसे प्यार देंगे? थ्रू द अवार्ड. अगेन वो नया सॉन्ग सिंग करेगा. इसके थ्रू इट्स अ कंटिन्यूस जर्नी. सिमिलरली इट कंपेयर्स रेन टू द सॉन्ग. The song originates from the heart of the singer, travel across to fulfill the aim, ताकि वो फेमस हो जाए, उसका सॉन्ग पब्लिश हो जाए, एंड कम बैक्स विद ड्यू लव फॉर द सिंगर. ड्यू लव यहाँ पर क्या गया? थ्रू अवार्ड्स. Okay, now let us do the question and answers. This is the very brief summary of the poem, The Voice of the Rain. Now let us do. There are two voices in the poem. उसने बोला है there are two voices in the poem. Who do they belong to? तो एक कौन सी है? पोएट की है, दूसरा रेन की है. They are indicated in line 1 or 2 and 3 and 9 respectively. Okay, now question number 2. What does the phrase strange to tell mean? The phrase refers to strange phenomena. The rain gives an answer to the poet's query. It is surprising to report the answer. इसका मतलब ये है कि यहाँ पर जो रेन है उसको पर्सोनिफाई करा गया है. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो क्या कर रही है, वो रिप्लाई कर रही है, पर्सोनिफिकेशन है ये, ठीक है, किसको रिप्लाई कर रही है ये, रेन को, राइट। तो क्या बोलते हैं, इट इज़ अ वेरी स्ट्रेंज थिंग, क्योंकि रेन कभी बात कर सकती, ऐसे तो हो ही नहीं सकता है, राइट। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, देयर इज अ पैरेलल ड्रॉन बिटवीन रेन है चिल्ड्रन ये, एंड म्यूजिक, which words indicate this, explain the similarity between the two. The following words phrase indicates parallel between rain and music. Poem of earth, eternal means never ending. I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea, for long duly with love returns. Song originates from the source, rises up, reach fulfillment, wonder about whether cared about or not, and finally return to the source of origin with love. इसका मतलब ये है कि जैसे रेन क्या है, दिस इज द वाटर, ठीक है, और दिस इज द सन, राइट। अगेन व्हाट हैपेंस, sun rays fall on the water vapor rises up, condenses, make the clouds fall on back to the earth in the form of precipitation, right. And this is the water cycle. Now it's going continuous, it is never ending process. Now similarly with the poet, it says, what does the poet do? It sings a song, right? It is singing a song, right? Now when it sings a song, children, what happens, it sings a song and he publishes it, publish kar diya, publishes it, then people love it, है ना. And how this love is rewarded to the singer in the form of awards, he gets awards, right. And again he starts with the new song. So this is the main comparison between the rain and the music. How is cyclical movement of rain, this is not rain children, this is actually rain, rain, okay, brought out in the poem. The rainwater rises untouched out of the land and deep sea and gathers in the sky, है ना, through evaporation, right. Where it changes form and then comes down to earth to bathe, ठीक है, to wash the dry tiny particles of dust layers and all that lies buried under it. Then it returns to the place of its origin. Science textbooks indicate that water vapor from the rivers, ocean rises up to the sky due to the intense heat. They assume to form the clouds and after condensation drop down as rain. The water flows back through the rivers to the seas and oceans. What are the last two lines put in? Why are last two lines put into brackets? Now the last two lines contain a comment about music and its cycle. These differ from the first 9 lines. The first 2 lines are the voice of the poet, whereas line 3 to 9 are spoken by the rain. The cycle of song is put within brackets to mark the difference in speakers but similarity in context. कि वो क्या है, पहली 2 लाइन तो पोएट ने बोली गई, बाकी 9 लाइन तक रेन ने बोला है, बट कुछ ना कुछ सिमिलैरिटी साइकिल उसको करने के लिए उन्होंने क्या करा है, लास्ट 2 लाइन्स को ब्रैकेट में रखे. लिस्ट द पेयर्स ऑफ ऑपोजिट फाउंड इन दी, राइट, राइज, डिसेंड, डे, नाइट, रेकेड, अनरेकेड, राइट. दीज आर some list of opposites found in the poem. Now, notice the sentence pattern in the following and rewrite the sentence in prose. And thou art, who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower. And I said to the soft falling shower, who are you? I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. The voice of the rain said, direct speech, see, I am the poem of the earth. Eternal I rise eternally, never ending, ठीक है. For song duly with love returns. For song returns duly with love. Okay. Now some more questions. The poem begins with a conversational tone. Conversation क्योंकि poet और poem rain के बारे में. Who are the two participants and what is the advantage of this method? The two participants are the poet and the rain. The poet makes the rain relate its own story. The direct presentation makes the narration more authentic, interesting, and captivating. Behind the apparent simplicity, the poet hides a deep meaning. What exactly does the poem convey to the reader? Now, the poem is not merely a description of life cycle of rain. It has deeper meaning. Rain is a poem or things of beauty of earth, and so is song or music. The comparison between the rain and music and their functions, making the earth pure and beautiful, convey the eternal role, never ending role of natural phenomena, art in life, in a real life. How does the rain justify its claim? I am the poem of the earth. The rain narrates the journey of its life, from birth to return to origin in mythical terms. Now, the facts are scientific, but the phrases that convey them are metaphoric and literary. The whole journey has a beauty and charm associated with the poem. How is the cyclical movement? It says, how is the cyclical now it says, how is the cyclical movement of rain brought out in the poem? The voice of the rain. What points of similarity do you notice between rain and music? The rain call itself the poem of the earth. It is everlasting and perpetual. It is something that cannot be touched. It originates from land and deep sea. It rises upward to heaven where it changes its form into cloud, yet remains the same in quality. From the sky, it pours down on earth to wash the dry, tiny particles and dust and unborn under the layers of earth. Rain gives back life to its origin, making it pure and beautiful. Rain and music are both beautiful and life giving. They are eternal source of joy and go on perpetually. They inspire them dormant objects, dormant which are not inactive, and persons with life and activity. Now let us continue with more questions. Here are some previous year's note, children. What does the rain do to the drought atoms and dust of the globe? After becoming vapors, the rain goes up in the sky, turns to clouds, from where it comes down back to the earth and satisfy the dry and thirsty lands. It wets every particle and cleans up all the dirt and pollution of this world. It purifies and beautifies the earth in this manner. पानी से है ना सब कुछ साफ हो जाता है. तो similarly, okay. Now in question 4 it says, how is cyclical movement of the earth rain brought out the poem the voice of the rain. मतलब पिछले जो long answer question था, that I have done with you with this. Now we have some questions that is reference to context जो बोल सकते हैं. And who art thou? वो बोलता है and who are you? Said I means poet. To the soft falling shower, to the rain. Which strange to tell you? Strange क्या है? Gave me the answer. Strange क्यों? Rain तो कभी answer दे ही नहीं सकता. But it is very strange. As he here translated, I am the poem of the earth. तो बोलती I am the poem of the earth. Said the voice of the rain. Eternal, never ending, I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. Where do these lines occur? These lines occur in the poem The Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. What does the how does the shower fall? The shower falls softly, है ना? यहाँ पर देख लो, उसने बोला soft falling shower. As described by the phrase soft falling shower, it implies a gentle and delicate descent of the water drops. Where does the rain rise from? Rain कहाँ से rise करता है? The rain rises from the land. कहाँ से? Land से. Bottomless sea से. सी का कोई नीचे का जो हिस्सा होता है उसको बॉटम बोलते हैं. अब यहाँ पर बॉटमलेस है कि कोई हिस्सा नहीं है नीचे का. As mentioned in the line, eternal I rise, eternal never ending I rise, impalpable, palpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea. It suggests that rain's origin is both terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial, which is related to land, and aquatic, which is related to water. Find a word in the passage that refers to something that cannot be touched. The word that refers to something that cannot be touched is impalpable, intangible, right? It is used to describe the rain's rising nature, indicating it cannot be physically grasped or felt. Why does the rain describe itself as the poem of the earth? तो rain क्यों बोलता है कि I am the poem of the earth? The rain calls itself poem of the earth because it believes it is an important and beautiful part to how the earth works. है ना? क्योंकि वही तो beautify करता है. Just like a poem expresses emotion, ideas, the rain expresses the earth's natural process. It helps plants and animals by giving them water, which is how everything in nature is connected, and how it brings new life and beauty. It is creative and life-giving part of nature, just like a poem brings meaning, freshness, and harmony. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, with strange to tell, give me an answer. Okay, now it is again same in 2018 it came. What does the poet ask for rain? The poet asks the rain, who art thou? It is an archaic which is obsolete, पुराने ज़माने का जो language use होता है. This question seeks to understand the identity and nature of the rain. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हैं children, ये देखो, ये है, this is an archaic. क्या बोलेंगे इसको? archaic शब्द बोलेंगे, right? क्या बोलेंगे? Right? Now, what idea do you form about the relationship between the rain and the earth from your reading of the quoted line? The rain personified as the voice of the rain, है ना? Personification है क्योंकि rain की voice नहीं होती है children, rain की तो sound होती है. Describes itself as the poem of the earth. तो उसको कैसे describe किया गया है? As the poem of the earth. This implies a deep interconnected relationship between the rain and the earth. The rain is eternal and originates from within the earth, rising from the land and the bottomless sea. It nourishes and revises the earth, bringing life and vitality of dormant elements. The rain's role is to purify and beautify the earth, acting as a poetic force that sustains and renews the natural world. Eternal rise, impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Eternally means never ending. Impalpable, that cannot be touched, right? Upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. I descend to leave the drought atomies, dust layers of the goal. Who's the speaker here? The rain is the speaker. From where does the speaker rises? The speaker rises from the land and bottomless sea. What is meant by altogether change and yet the same? Altogether change and yet the same means that although the rain undergoes transformation and takes an different form as it rises to the sky, it still retains its fundamental essence of identity. What are atomies? Atomies refer to tiny particle of atoms. In this context, it represents the minuscule component that make up the drops, dust layers, and other dry elements of the earth. How does the speaker go up, come down again on drought, atomies, and dust particles? The speaker goes up to the sky, comes down again as rain falls upon the drought, atomies, and dust particles. This process is the part of natural cycle of rain, where it evaporates from the earth's surface, condenses in the atmosphere, and then falls down as precipitation, moisturizing and regenerating and dry elements it encounters. Now 2020 to 2021, what does the phrase strange to tell mean in the poem The Voice of the Rain? Now see above question number 2, that is we've done. And how thou art, again that only. To whom the question is asked? The question is asked to the rain. Who's the poem of the earth? The rain. who rises eternally? Rain. Okay. To where does it rise? It keeps up rising from the land to the bottomless sea. Write a brief summary of the above stanza. So, in the stanza, the speaker poses a question about soft falling shower, personifying the rain. Personifying rain is what is personification? When a non-living thing becomes a living thing. Okay, surprisingly, the rain responds, identifying itself as the poem of the earth. It keeps rising up from the land and sea, even though we can't touch or hold it. It goes up to the sky where it changes a little but still stays the same. The stanza shows how the rain is connected to the earth and how it keeps going through a cycle of renewable changes. What does the rain do to the earth as has been said by the voice of the rain? The voice of the rain in the poem describes what it does to the earth. It rises from the land and sea, transforms as it reaches the sky, and then descends back to earth. When it falls, it nourishes and replenishes the dryness, tiny particles, and layers of dust on the earth. Without the rain, these things would remain lifeless and unproductive. The rain brings life, purifies, and beautifies the earth, providing essential sustenance for plants and animals and all living things. It is continuous cycle ensures that it gives back to the place of origin and fulfill its purpose and love and care. What will happen if it does not rain? If it does not rain, the earth will become dry and parched. Plants will wither and die without water, leading to a decline in vegetation and food source for animals. Rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water will dry up, causing a scarcity of drinking water for both humans and animals. The soil will become cracked and infertile, making it difficult to grow crops. This can result in drought, famine, and a negative impact on overall ecosystem. Write in your own words what the rain speaks about itself. In its own words, the rain describes itself as the poem of the earth. It sees itself as an internal force that rises from the land and the bottomless sea, transforming as it reaches heaven. The rain emphasizes its role in bringing life to the earth, making it pure and beautiful. When it comes back down, it helps to make things alive again, cleaning and making them beautiful. The rain is like a song that makes everything fresh and new. And forever by day. And it says, forever by day and night I give back my life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. Okay? For the song issuing, now this is in bracket because we are comparing a song to a writer, okay, to a rain. Issuing from the birthplace after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked and unwrecked, duly with love returns. What does the rain give to her own origin? What does the rain? The rain gives back life to its own origin. ठीक है, जैसे वो ऊपर उठता है वाटर वेपर के थ्रू, कंडेंसेशन होती है, फिर प्रेसिपिटेशन होती है, राइट. दिस मीन्स दैट द रेन नरिशेस एंड सस्टेन्स द अर्थ. और जहाँ पर ड्राई है वहाँ पर भी बारिश करता है ताकि क्या हो सकते हैं, मोर प्लांट्स ग्रो, replenishing the source from which it originates. ठीक है. What are the two things that the rain does to the place of their own origin? The rain makes its own origin pure and beautify it. It means that the rain cleanses the earth, साफ करता है, washing away impurities and making it more ब्यूटिफुल. तो इम्प्योरिटीज़, जो गंदगी है, जो इम्प्योर चीज़ें हैं, उनको वॉश करता है और उसको और सुंदर बनाता है. वेयर डज द सॉन्ग इशू फ्रॉम? The song issues from the birthplace. In the context of the poem, the rain is compared to a song, and the birthplace refers to the origin or source of the rain, which is land and the bottomless sea. Children, now इसमें क्या बोला गया है इसमें क्या कर रहा है, जो वाटर साइकिल है वो कंटिन्यूस है, उसको सॉन्ग से कंपेयर किया गया है। अब सॉन्ग से कैसे कंपेयर किया कि जैसे एक सिंगर सॉन्ग गाता है, वो पब्लिश करता है, उसके बाद लोग उसको सुनते हैं, बहुत लव देते, लव इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अवार्ड, और फिर से वो नया सॉन्ग का, तो इट्स अ कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस है ना। तो सिमिलरली वाटर साइकिल भी कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस है। वाटर इवेपोरेट्स, कंडेंसेस, प्रेसिपिटेट्स अगेन, और ट्रांसपिरेशन से क्या होता है, इवेपोरेशन फिर से होता है। ठीक है, तो ये क्या है, और वो सॉन्ग सुनकर हमको हमारा सोल जो हो इटर्नल हो जाता है, हमारा बहुत अच्छा लगता है, राइट। सो सिमिलरली जो बारिश होती है, ब्यूटिफाइज द अर्थ। Describe the never ending cycle of rain. The rain has never ending cycle. It starts up by rising up from the land and the sea. As it reaches the sky, it changes its form. Then it comes back down to earth to bring life to dry and sleeping things. The cycle happens to all the time during the day and the night. The rain keeps nourishing its own source, making it alive and beautiful. It's like a song that starts finishing and finishes and then freely moves around before coming back with love. The cycle of rain is always happening, and it's a beautiful and eternal process. Thank you, children. I hope you have got all the question and